Let's talk about something we use every single day. Something so common we barely even think about it. Our words. Today we're going to dig into an ancient text to really understand the incredible power behind a promise and why what we say might just be one of the most important things about us.
So, let's just get right down to it with a huge question. What is a promise really worth? I mean, in your life, in business, in our world. It's a question that cuts right to the heart of what trust and integrity are all about. To explore this, we're going to turn to a source that's rooted in ancient Jewish tradition. And trust me, it has some incredibly powerful things to say about our words, framing them not just as, sounds we make, but as a truly sacred responsibility. Let's dive in.
So, where are we getting all this from? Well, it's a section of the Torah called Parshat Matot, and this part, specifically, gets right into the nitty-gritty of vows and oaths. It lays out this whole framework for why keeping your word is seen as absolutely vital.
What's really fascinating about this tradition is how it thinks about speech right from the get-go. The book of Genesis literally says that God spoke, and the world came into being. So in this way of thinking, words aren't just for describing things, they are creative. They have the power to actually shape reality.
And that idea brings us to the central rule, the commandment that this whole philosophy is built on. It's a very direct, no-nonsense rule about how we're supposed to treat the words that come out of our mouths.
Just look at the language here from the book of Numbers. It doesn't just say, hey, don't break your promises. No, it says, you shall not desecrate your word. That is such a strong verb, and it was definitely chosen for a reason.
So what does it even mean to desecrate something? It means you're taking something sacred and treating it like it's nothing. You're profaning it. So the point here is huge. This isn't just about being polite or reliable. Breaking a promise is seen as violating something holy, your own word.
Okay, so if our words are supposed to be sacred, what happens when we ignore that? What happens on a bigger scale? Well, this text argues that the decay of an entire society can be traced right back to people failing to keep their word. The text points to some very real-world consequences. When a vow or an oath just doesn't mean anything anymore, you start to see the cracks everywhere. Marriage vows get broken. Soldiers abandon their sworn duty. Trust completely evaporates from business deals, and even something as basic as commerce, like knowing you have accurate weights and measures, starts to fall apart.
And that ripple effect just keeps on going, right, into our most important institutions. The source points out that if people just did what they said they were going to do, our courtrooms wouldn't be clogged with liars. We wouldn't need all these frivolous lawsuits, because trust and truth would be the default.
So it's a pretty bleak picture. How do you fix all that? The text suggests the answer isn't some complicated new legal system. It's something way more fundamental. Rebuilding society on a foundation of honor and integrity. And it all goes back to a few simple ideas.
So this framework for rebuilding trust is based on three main pillars of honor. They're centered on the key relationships where our integrity really gets put to the test. Our relationship with our parents, with our Creator, and of course, with each other.
First up, it connects our words directly to our parents. The idea is, when you lie or break a promise, you're not just damaging your own reputation, you're actually bringing dishonor to your family and the values they tried to teach you. Your personal integrity is a direct reflection on them.
The second pillar connects your word to the divine. So, since the Creator's word literally brought reality into being, if you treat your word like it's meaningless, you're disrespecting that entire concept of creative, powerful speech. It's seen as a direct dishonor to the one who made you.
And this third pillar is one we all recognize, right? It's the golden rule. Love your neighbor as yourself. The text puts it simply, treat people how you'd want to be treated. It's asking us to really think, how would we feel if someone broke a promise they made to us?
And this is where it all comes together. It takes this huge, ancient, societal concept and brings it right back down to earth, right back to you and me. It forces us to ask that first question all over again, but this time, it's a lot more personal.
Because at the end of the day, when you strip away all the philosophy and theology, the bottom line is incredibly simple. When someone breaks their word to you, it doesn't just mess up your plans or break your trust. It hurts. It's a personal wound.
So this is what we're left with. We live in a world that is just full of noise, right? Cheap talk, broken commitments, empty promises, they're everywhere. And this ancient text, Matsit, it's like this voice calling out, challenging us to make our words mean something, to make them sacred again. So the question for all of us to really think about is this. In this world of noise, what will your word stand for?